Welcome one and all. Y'all come have a ball.
Yo, welcome everybody. Welcome to, this is a very unusual setup. We've been laughing at this camera setup for 5 minutes because we laugh at our own stuff. That's how professional we are. You may be asking yourself, what kind of Disney scenario is this? It doesn't look like Disneyland to me. Well, guess what? That's because it's not. Yep. We are at Knott's Berry Farm in California. And here's the great irony, is that we got here and we took our time coming here today. And
we went and checked out Independence Hall. We ate a dinner. We're just like, whatever.
We had some fried chicken. We just hung out.
Hungry. And then
we walked into the park at about 4:30 p.m.
Yeah.
And then looked at a sign that said closes at 6 p.m. So we wanted to record this in the park, but it would we
wouldn't be able to.
We had to make the most of it. So we went on as many things as we could. But did as much as we could.
I think this is the best location we could have gotten anyway.
Yeah. So this place that we're in, we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit.
It's the best lighting we've ever had.
Yeah, it really is. Fortunately for us, there is a replica of George Washington's fireplace behind a berry store outside the park that stays open way later. Yeah. So we're good. So we are, our set today is, as we said, a replica of Mount Vernon, the famous living room, the fireplace. George Washington probably had breakfast here a couple of times here in Anaheim,
Rode Montezuma's Revenge and then got warmed by the fire.
Exactly. So it's kind of a George Washington tribute. Anyway, we're doing something a little different today. We're doing our thing about Knott's because it's kind of integral to, our whole thing is Disneyland, I think, is the reason we talk about it so much is it's kind of a layered piece of not only theme park history, but California theme park history, California history, period. And Knott's is definitely connected to that. Definitely. So it makes sense.
It's 7 miles away from Disneyland.
Yeah.
So there's always been like this kind of like fun competition between Disney and Walt.
Yeah, and there's always been a lot more connections than people realize, I think. But, Knott's Berry Farm started way back. It was actually here before Disneyland.
Yep, 1920s.
Did it start in the 1920s?
I think it's established 1920 on most of the stuff here.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it started in the 40s.
No, that was when it became an amusement park.
Okay.
It was just a straight berry farm in 1920.
Yeah.
And then they added the stuff later.
Yeah, so it started as a kind of, the beginning of it was the chicken dinner restaurant, right? It started as a place for Walter and Cordelia Knott, which again, it's weird that there was another theme park mogul with Walt as their first name.
Walt and Walter.
I don't understand, but Walter Knott and Cordelia Knott, they opened this chicken dinner restaurant. And wasn't the clientele mostly soldiers?
I think so.
Wasn't it kind of like, I thought that's what it was. Mm-hmm. Again, this show, we're being just conversational here. I didn't look at the encyclopedia before we got this, so I'm going to be wrong about a lot of stuff. Yeah. But it started as just like a restaurant for that, and from what I remember, I think weren't the lines so long that it prompted them after a while to like add attractions.
Yep, and that's why they added the ghost town.
Yeah.
Like basically they would need something, so they kind of added ghost towny kind of things, and that was in 1940. That's when it started, like basically officially went into amusement park territory.
Yeah. Which is crazy to think. Like, when Disneyland started, it was like, oh, we want to make the coolest theme park ever. Boom. But Knott's wasn't that. It was just, we want to sell chicken dinners. People are getting bored. Better make some attractions. Yep. And I think they started small. From what I remember, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
They started small, like, oh, here's a replica of like a volcano.
Yep. It was very small,
little
things
stuff to look at.
Yeah.
And then it evolved into like, here's a ghost town. Here's, we'll add a ride to it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I think for years and years, I don't remember when this changed. Maybe the 50s, 60s. I don't remember. For years and years, they didn't charge admission.
No, it was actually free until the 60s.
Really?
Yep.
Oh my God.
It was free until like 1960.
I mean, a knockover.
And then they kind of started charging.
It wasn't until the 60s. Yep. Oh my gosh. So for decades, they didn't charge. Yeah, they felt bad charging admission.
Yeah.
Because again, their whole goal,
chicken.
They wanted people to come here and get the chicken dinner.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good chicken dinner.
It's awesome.
One of my favorite places to eat.
We had it before this.
Period. Yeah, we did. So if I am sweating a little bit, and 90% of that is that it's so humid in this area.
Very humid.
It's insane. But the other 10% is because I'm full of fried chicken.
Yeah.
Which is great. I'm just sweating grease. So great picture for everyone. All you audio listeners, use the theater of the mind. Anyway, so so for a long time they didn't even charge. And it wasn't until around then that people were like, hey, you really like
this is a legit thing.
Step up your theme park and charge admission. And then Walter was like, okay, all right, fine. But it really blows my mind, like that it started out that way.
Yeah.
And again, they would add kind of just little attractions just to make it worth something to see. And this was part of it. This is actually where we are is part of that.
Yeah.
This is kind of hidden. Now, when you go to the theme park, there's a lot of stores around the outside of the theme park.
I feel like those were built like they built around this because originally you see old photos and it's like empty over here. It's windows and like this is definitely sealed in, but at least they kept it.
Yeah, so this was one of the little roadside attractions. Was hey, here's a replica of George Washington. Walter Knott was highly patriotic. Yeah, and was like, hey, I went to Mount Vernon once. I thought George Washington's like fireplace area. I thought that was cool. I want to make it. Perfect replica. Yeah. And so he did, and that's what this is. And yet, you're right. Everything has been built around it. So you have to go into a store out here and go back to the bathroom area, and then you come into this atrium, and this is hidden back here, which is weird. This is one of my favorite weird hidden details.
Nobody comes back here. We've seen a couple people go to the bathroom. Yeah. But that's it.
And just walk by. I don't think most people know what the hell this is. No. But it's pretty good. And over here, you can kind of see it probably in the shot, but it's like one of the first...
stone mills?
Yeah. I think they made like bread with this or something originally, but it's old as hell. So they would just accumulate old stuff to have it as attractions. And even when you're in Knott's Berry Farm now, you can see some of them. It's like there's what was it? There's like a stump or something that's like, this stump has 100... What was it?
Yeah, I don't know, but there's like weird stone wheels of these are from like the 1600s and all this stuff.
Yeah. There's I want to say there's like a stump with a bunch of railroad spikes in it. Like this is from the railroad spike competition of 1901 or something. I may be totally making that up, but just whatever like weird roadside stuff.
They have museums in here.
Yeah.
Like inside the park, you'll go in and it won't be...
Yeah, they still do. They have those.
Yeah, it won't be a gift shop. It'll just be full of artifacts.
Yeah.
And it's really cool.
From like the Old West and stuff like that. It's really great.
Old revolvers and things
I didn't know until recently too that the ghost town area, so basically the first thing that ever sprang up in this when it became a park was this ghost town, which is like an old cowboy, Old West ghost town. Yeah. I did not know that. Okay, so that was built in what, like the 40s? That part was built, I want to say in the 40s. I did not know a lot of the buildings were authentic.
Like really? I moved them from like...
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah. Like they were legit old ghost town structures that a lot of them they brought in. I just thought, it's all built in the 40s to look like that, but a lot of it is legit and it's still there. Yeah. Which is crazy.
That whole area of the park's basically an antique. Yeah. Like it's really cool. That's my favorite part of the park.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Over the years, so they had that for many years. That was kind of the only game in town a little bit. And then over the years, they started to like modernize a little bit. Like, let's put some roller coasters in. Yeah. And this park, and Knott's kind of became a roller coaster park. It was kind of what they were getting known for. But that never interested me. I was like the ghost town
old stuff. Yeah.
That was what I loved, absolutely. And but anyway, as they added more, so the ghost town has like a saloon. It has like all the blacksmith, all the stuff you would expect. But my favorite thing there, and it's still there, was when they added the Calico mine train. Yes. That's my favorite thing there because it reminds me of like speaking in Disney terms, it's like someone dug up a Frontierland ride that no one had ever seen. Yeah. Like it's just this weird like old, like it's like a gold rush like kind of.
You're just going through you're going through a mountain and basically...
You're on a train.
You're on a train, going through a mountain, seeing like miners and all that. It's really, really cool. And there's a lot of rumors that Disney was showing up all the time and watching them build it.
Yeah, he was like fascinated by it. Yeah. I heard about that too. He would give them like, I heard that like Disney never wants to admit this, but he like chimed in lots of little tips.
It's like, hey, it'd be cool if you did like this. And,
yeah. Well, I think one of the things that he said, which ended up being kind of prescient, was waiting for the ride. He told them something he was blown away by. Yeah. And he said, it's pretty impressive. Your guests wait in line and they don't think about that they're waiting in line. Yeah. And they're like, well, it was kind of the first thing where you were kind of like, you go through like some waterfalls. It was a themed queue. Yeah.
And it was one of the first. Yeah. Like the first time ever you're waiting in line, but it's all rock work and waterfalls and everything like that. And that was mind blowing at the time.
Yeah, he said, and that's I guess what he was impressed by. He's like, you're looking at waterfalls and all the stuff around that you don't think about being in line. And then how funny that was a novel concept. Yeah.
And that was Botte Hurlbutt.
Yeah, Botte Hurlbutt was the dude.
He's the mastermind behind this whole ride. Yeah, Calico Mine Train.
He was like super integral to the real like famous rides of Knott's. Yeah. Botte Hurlbutt. So yeah, the mine train. Yeah, he would take Walt Disney, not just Walter Knott, onto that ride. I heard someone told me once that there was a thing on the ride inspired by Walt Disney. Like he gave them an idea.
Like, hey, here, use this or something like that.
Like he told them. Maybe I got this wrong. This whole episode, I'm going to be saying that, but I feel like someone was like, "Hey," or no, like Walt Disney told them like, "Hey, have a sign pointing to a bottomless pit and make it like you can't see the bottom. Yeah, and it seems like a bottomless pit." But I don't see that anywhere on the ride. Maybe it's not there anymore. Or,
it might have been taken out over the years or something like that. But yeah, that seems like something that would be on that ride. That's that type of theming and everything.
I don't understand. I wish I could remember that a little better. But anyway, they said he was there a lot. And of course, that ride, it really feels like Knott's Pirates of the Caribbean. Like that's their
for sure
their equivalent.
Yeah.
But it's funny because Pirates gets kind of all the credit for having like this ride full of like humanoid, animatronics and stuff. But Knott's the Calico ride was there before Pirates. Yeah. It was in the 50s, I think. But it's not really fair to call them animatronics. I think back then it was more like simple.
Yeah, it was definitely not what it is today.
Yeah. Whereas Pirates, when that opened, had full blown like audio animatronic, the real deal, with full motion and all that. Yeah. But anyway, but it's still pretty impressive that Calico Mine Train is there. Like,
they've updated it. They just recently updated it in 2014.
Yeah, they totally cleaned it up.
Cleaned it up, and it works. It looks
it's
great.
Awesome. Yeah. For a classic ride, I have to say, like Knott's, they've added, like I said, they added a bunch of roller coasters. They've modernized the park, but they have done a really good job preserving the historic stuff. Yeah, that is one thing they've done. Like Disney does that to a point, but if it will mean like something cooler coming, they'll close up something.
They'll rip something out to get more people into a ride.
Exactly. Like if they have to, if they're forced to, they'll do it. Yeah. But Knott's has been pretty good about like, hey, leave the old stuff there. We'll just build more other stuff somewhere else. And that's one thing I give them a lot of credit for, because you would think they would be the most like laissez-faire with that. But no, they actually are really good. But anyway, Calico Mine Train. Is that what it's called?
I believe so. Yeah.
I always get it mixed up. I'm always like Calico. I remember when I was a kid, I would go to Vegas. There was always there were all these attractions like at State Line that were Calico something. So I get it mixed up all the time. Calico Mine Train.
Calico Mine Train, I believe, is what. Full name.
But anyway, that's my favorite thing there. The other big old ride there is the log ride. Did you want to say
that got another refresh in 20?
It did, it did at the same time, right?
Yep, same time. Looks great, and that was another Botte Hurlbutt. Did the whole thing. Yeah. And it's just as good. Like to me, it's the same thing. It's full of the same type of animatronics as Calico Mine Train, creepy like miners and stuff like that. Except they're like sawing wood.
We should say, in case you've never been on the ride, both rides, the log ride and the mine train, are full of grizzled old worker guys going.
I love their animatronics because they're kind of gross looking.
Yeah,
they're just like looking at a diamond. It's like,
you know, they can't say this, but I'll say it. It sounds like they're making sex noises.
They're all grunting.
And it just adds to the mystique.
Yep.
You know, gotta admit it does. But anyway,
the
log ride, yeah.
What's the log ride called? I can't remember. Is
it
like
wilderness? Timber,
just Timber Mountain Log Ride.
This is a great informational show.
Timber Mountain Log Ride.
Tim Burton Log Ride.
Yeah, that's it. Again, full of antiques, like tons of mining equipment, tons of like woodworking equipment. There's a ton of taxidermied animals in the ride.
Are there really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
It looks like they've animated taxidermied animals.
Really?
From what it looks like, I'm not 100% sure, but it looks really good.
Really?
And there's like a bear, and it'll just
no kidding. That's awesome.
Yeah.
See, I haven't been on it. I don't handle drops that well.
The drop is not nearly as bad as Splash.
No. It doesn't look bad
because it was built before it.
Yeah.
So they're like whoa, and so it's not nearly as steep.
Yeah. You're right. I should go on it sometime. I just skip it.
But
habit. Timber Mountain Log Ride.
That's it.
That's what it is. I just looked it up.
It's great. It's way faster than not way faster, but in terms of just going down the chutes and stuff, not even drops or anything, just traveling through the stuff. Yeah. It's faster than Splash Mountain.
Oh, really?
Splash Mountain, you're kind of going through this, and there's like bear rabbit, and like okay, cool. Yeah. This is like bears are like doing this,
no
and
kidding.
You're going by it really quick.
Oh, that's fun.
It's fun. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize. Yeah. That's really cool.
And there's like goofy stuff. Like there's a guy balancing on like it says at the beginning of the ride like Hootenanny come to tonight's Hootenanny.
Yeah.
And that's basically near the end of the ride is like a big party.
Oh,
and it has a bunch of like log games, and one of them is balancing on a log floating in the river. So it's some weird looking dude like animatronic balancing on this log that's spinning.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it's really really funny to like. It's got this charm that like Splash Mountain's great.
Yeah.
But it's all Brer Rabbit and cartoony and stuff.
Of course.
This is all like legit. It's the same
ugly men.
Same charm as Calico Mine Train.
That's great.
Yeah.
I gotta go on that sometime.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And except they just added a new element at the end.
I heard about this.
Yeah.
I heard about this.
Normally you just go up a hill and it's the same thing as Calico Mine Train.
Yeah,
there's dynamite. Oh no. Except there's one that talks in like an old miner voice.
Yeah.
But he does the whole spiel of like hold on to the rails and keep your feet in.
Yeah, they shoehorned a safety thing in.
I believe they had to. It's
it was an OSHA thing.
You have to tell them before so they just wrote it into one of the animatronics that was up there, and it's really funny. It's funny because it's like the same like old timey miner dude talk like. Except he's giving you a spiel on how on safety.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I gotta go on that at some point.
Yeah.
Now we should comment on the best attraction. Between the Calico Mine Train and the Timber Mountain Log Ride.
Real quick before we go on the log ride, I read that Tony Baxter was there day one.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, I heard about that.
He was there because he was so excited to see what it was and stuff. He was there opening day of that ride.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and he was a kid. Like it was just funny. He was like,
yeah, that's great.
Yep.
Well, I was just gonna say, since then though, they've opened the coolest attraction in all of Knott's between the two rides, Panda Express. Knott's has a Panda Express.
Right as you exit, there's a Panda Express you can just get food.
There's tons of great food at Knott's that you can go and get, and you can't get it anywhere else.
Yeah, Boysenberry everything.
Yeah,
like
because we should go into that. Boysenberries were invented here.
Yep.
But don't get that. Go to Panda Express.
Yeah.
Get the mushroom chicken.
Or
like you can at your local
delicious.
Mall. Yeah. It blows my mind they put that there. Yeah. It's like and I saw people today with bags. Panda Express bags. It's like, why are you going there?
That's what they're used to, I think. Like people are just used to. There's Panda Express. I go to the mall.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
should we talk about Boysenberry?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why it's called not Berry Farm in the first place is that they started to grow berries here.
Yep. It had a little stand that they could sell on the street.
And dude, oh my god, I can't remember the dude's name, but
something Boysen.
Michael Boysen or
Walter
something.
Boysen.
Let's see. I'm gonna find out. I can't remember the dude's name. This is the only podcast where they're Googling it.
Hold on.
During
1 second.
But they fused. What was it?
Yeah,
it was Charles Boysen.
Yeah.
And they fused.
With 2 berries.
It was a hybrid of blackberries, raspberries, and loganberries.
3 berries.
Yes. They hybridized the berry to make a new berry, and he said, all right, Boysenberry. They called it Boysenberry.
Cool.
That started here in Buena Park,
Yep, we're sitting right
California.
right on our feet.
Right in this spot, a guy went, that's a good berry.
Yep.
And that's why you're doing boysenberry syrup on your pancakes. That's why you do that.
Oh yeah, I prefer that over maple syrup.
Really? I don't think I can say a preference. I actually think I like them both the same, but different occasion. You know, it's like
if I have options and it's boysenberry syrup's in there, that's what's going on my pancakes.
Sometimes I want that mapley taste, and sometimes I want a berry taste. I really, personally, I don't think I could pick one.
Really?
But what I will say, when I was a kid, I more often went for the boysenberry if we had pancakes.
Yeah.
Because that was almost like a special treat. Like, okay, everyone has maple, but you got boysenberry.
I remember I had Knott's boysenberry syrup in the fridge as a kid all the time.
Yeah, we
did
did
in a weird
too.
tall bottle.
Yeah, we did too. A tall glass bottle, right? Yep, I had that too. How funny.
Yep, and that was made here. I think at that point, I don't know.
Yeah, they eventually sold their berry business to Smuckers.
Yeah,
and just went all in as a theme park.
Yep.
So they don't make berries in here anymore. Growing.
But it's funny that it's still called Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah, it's stuck. Like, it's still called that after all these years. I love that.
They never, because they could have, when they sold it like later on, they could have easily changed the name to like Knott's Theme Park or Knott's.
Yeah, Knott's a fun.
Still officially Knott's Berry Farm.
Well, when I was a kid, there wasn't much I was scared to go on everything, so I called it Knott's Berry Fun. You know, that's just a little humor from 8-year-old me to you. But anyway, yeah, but so there you go. The boysenberry did start here. Thank goodness for us, California. Thank you. Thank you, California.
Yeah.
Anyway, now, on the subject of food still, the chicken dinner restaurant is still here.
Yeah.
As we said, we just ate there. So that's why we're in the best shape you've ever seen us. Feeling good. But it's still legit. They still have Cordelia's chicken dinner.
It's on the thing. It even says like, this is the dinner.
Famous fried chicken dinner.
Yeah.
And you get so much food, it's ridiculous. They
How
bring
many courses is it? It's
my god.
The first one is
salad.
Yeah, no. The first one is the rhubarb or chicken noodle soup.
Okay,
that's the first course.
So you get something first.
Then you get a salad.
Then
you get the main course.
Well, biscuits.
I forgot.
Biscuits.
And if you want, was it boysenberry butter?
Yeah, which you have to get.
Oh, it's so good.
Boysenberry butter is my favorite thing there. I'll just eat like 25 biscuits.
It looks like a scoop of ice cream. It's like one big scoop of ice cream.
It's delicious. Oh my gosh.
It is. And then so you get those, and then the main course, which is the chicken, which is like chicken.
Wait, you forgot corn. Did you say corn?
Corn.
Yeah. You get corn.
You get corn.
Or cabbage.
Yeah. I was corn.
I was corn too. Okay.
But you get the main course with mashed potatoes and then your corn. And then when that's all done, you're dead. You're dying of, like, you're stuffed to beyond belief.
And then they say those cursed words.
What do you want for dessert? Because it comes with it.
And you either get pie or ice cream.
I'm a pieman.
And the ice cream, I'm not a pieman. I'm a creamin.
Yeah.
And you can go vanilla. Now listen, I'm not attacking vanilla. Vanilla is badass.
Yeah.
You know, people use the term, "Oh, that's so vanilla." Vanilla is too good for that term. Vanilla's good, but this place has boysenberry.
Yep. You get vanilla anywhere. You can't get boysenberry.
Boysenberry ice cream, absolutely.
Yep.
I get that. Also, with your meal, it's optional, but I do this too, and you did too.
Oh yeah.
Boysenberry punch.
That's one of they have all the sodas like Coke, Sprite, all that stuff, and then at the end it says boysenberry punch. Well, you gotta get that.
I think you can get Coke anywhere.
Yeah.
But boysenberry punch, pretty sure you can only get that here.
I think so. Yeah.
Let it be known. But anyway, but man, that you walk out of that place stuffed. There's no way.
We did it. Some people probably already saw it, but we did that before our Boysenberry Festival thing, where you get to eat a taste at each station, and so we were stuffed, and then we went and ate. Like
we ate that whole multi-course meal, and then went to eat.
Yep.
Like that is the dumbest thing on record that I know of.
It was good though.
Unbelievable. Yeah, it was great.
I was dying, but it was good.
I mean, I didn't say I had regrets, but that was dumb. But anyway, that place is amazing. It's still here. Now, there used to be, now if you go a little further back past the ghost town.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I think they made it like a Roaring 20s kind of area.
I think so,
it's
yeah.
not really themed to that now. There's kind
It's
of
a
no
mess.
theme. Yeah,
Like-
there's kind of no theme. Past the ghost town, I don't know what the theme is.
Yeah. I don't even know what that land is
There's
called.
like Charlie Brown stuff.
Yeah, there's like a Peanuts theater and
Yeah.
like an underwater ride. It's like there's like a nautical area.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
But what used to be back there, after Walt Disney passed away, a lot of the original creatives at Disneyland, like a lot of the original people who worked on a lot of the stuff there, kind of fell out of Disney, or didn't work there anymore or left. And one of them was Raleigh Crump, who did Tiki Room was a lot of his art, mostly I think his. He did a lot of Small World, a lot of Haunted Mansion, all kinds of stuff for Disneyland, and they snatched him up here at Knott's, and so he totally designed a ride called Knott's Berry Tales.
Oh yeah,
and it was a dark ride with just
animatronic bears.
Animatronic bears making it was like their jelly factory, and then you would go through into the forest, and there were like camps of weird people. And it was weird.
It was.
But
I never rode it as a kid.
No, I didn't either. I want to say, was it gone by the time we were born?
I think so.
Or at least close to.
When I went on whatever
86
ride,
or something.
when I went on that ride, it was the dinosaur back in time ride.
So that's what it became afterwards. They closed it, and it became like going back in time to dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And then only in the last few years they changed it again to now it's Voyage to the Iron Reef.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a Buzz Lightyear style thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like arcadey and has guns on the thing.
Yeah, some creatures attacked. They actually wrote.
They wrote a whole story of linking in the park.
Yeah, like
the whole
Knott's Berry
ride.
Farm is under attack by these deep sea demons,
Yep.
and you are shooting at them.
The opening video that you watch online is so funny because it's all CG, and it has it shows kind of Knott's kind of close to the beach. It's not really that.
Yeah, it shows it like right on the beach. Yeah,
and all of a sudden the captain that's getting attacked and stuff just pulls out a gun and starts shooting at the thing just a pistol. And it was just weird. That's
so funny.
Yeah,
that video was weird. I remember that. That ride is okay. It's
3D,
dumb, but it's
updated, but it's the same track as the other rides. I think. I don't think they changed the track layout.
And I like going on it just for that. The bears were in here.
Yeah.
There was a moment in time where when they did all that renovation, they found a few of the bear animatronics and they put them on display.
We saw them,
in the stores. And then since then, just recently they auctioned them off. They just sold them. And it's oh, okay. I guess don't display those anymore. Yeah, that was weird. But anyway, that's one thing I wish I had gone.
I know, it sucks.
The berry ride.
In between after they put in the dinosaur back in time ride and the one that's in now, it was it was abandoned for 10 years.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was
and
in
there are
operation.
photos you can find of people, of employees just going in there after sneaking in there, and it's demolished.
Oh,
the
that's
animatronics
awesome.
are all there; they're just falling apart.
Oh, that's great.
It's great. There's tons
I
of
gotta
photos.
see that.
Tons of photos of that kind of stuff.
That's great. I gotta find that. But anyway, other stuff that's there. Now, I'm gonna say this. Maybe controversial. Some may agree, some may not. I'm gonna plant my flag here.
Okay.
My favorite thing. These colors don't run. My favorite thing at Knott's is something they added in the 90s, in the early 90s.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I think
I'm going to say a little bit of Native American culture called the Mystery Lodge.
It's so good.
The Mystery Lodge is a Native American show, and what's cool is that they put some money into it.
They put a lot of money.
You go into the corner of the park where it's at, and it's the giant waterfalls, and you start to see totem poles, and it says Mystery Lodge, and there's certain show times. It's a show.
Yeah.
And you go in, and there's kind of a pre-show. You see, it's kind of like they have a faux wilderness scene that you walk into, and there's a cabin. And then you hear a disembodied voice tell you, oh, soon, in a few minutes, we're going to go inside the cabin for warmth, and we're going to tell stories, and we're going to, and what's so funny is they keep saying that, we're going to go inside for warmth. All right, get your party together. In the next few minutes, we're going to go inside the cabin for warmth and to tell stories. They keep saying for warmth.
Yeah.
I've been here in the winter. It is 10 times colder inside that attraction than outside.
Yeah.
Like they keep saying for warmth, and then you go in, it's like I can see my breath. So I'm just
a lot warmer in there.
I'm letting everybody know. But anyway, it's a show, and so you go after that part. They say welcome to the Mystery Lodge. They let you in, and you go in, and it's a show where an Indian chief tells you like an old.
Yeah, he's old, so he's wise, and he just tells you the kind of his past and the old stories of the.
Yeah, he tells you about kind of a myth. Like he saw the owl, which means he may die soon. Mm-hmm. And so he's telling you a story about his life because he doesn't know how long he's got left.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of the attraction is kind of like pass down stories with your family and your friends while you can. That's like life is more rich when you share your stories with other people and they share with you. And, it's a whole thing. It's very, very corny.
Yes.
But in the best way.
Yep.
Oh, I love it. And as he's telling you stories, he's behind
glass.
He's behind a glass wall.
Yeah.
But he's right in front of you, but he's telling you, he's walking around, oh, I'm happy to see you. I just saw an owl. And then there will be effects of like an owl in the smoke in front of him.
Yeah, there's a fire basically in the center of the room.
Yeah.
And smoke coming out.
Things start coming out of it.
Yeah.
It's some kind of projection effect.
Yeah, the smoke is not real.
Yeah, it's like Pepper's Ghost, like in Disneyland. It's like some kind of reflection effect. It's all projection, but it's like the smoke becomes like a firebird. Yeah. And he tells you about the raven.
And they try to kind of convince you that it's real by at the beginning, like if you have any like smoke, like if you're worried about it affecting you, don't worry. Yeah. Don't worry. It's behind glass.
Yeah, it's also fake.
Like it's not real at all.
Yeah. But he tells you, I'm not going to spoil this attraction. Yeah. But all I'm going to say is beware. He tells you about the raven, the trickster.
Yep.
And that raven, he lives up to the name. He is a trickster. Yep. And you may be fooled. You may be deceived a couple times. But anyway, why that attraction, that show is so great to me is it's hokey, but it's so charming and it's fun and whatever. But it's got an effect in it that to this day, a lot of people, even just about anyone,
Disney Imagineers have gone on this ride and go, I don't know how they did it.
Legit Disney legends have gone in there and gone, I don't know how they do this trick.
Yeah.
And I always hear rumors that there's at any given point, it's like the Coke formula. Yeah. There's only 2 people that know it, at any given point. But that's the big thing is that seriously, there's a trick that stumps everyone. I don't know if we should say what the trick is.
No, we should leave it up. But just saying there's an effect in here or multiple effects that we don't understand.
Yeah, there was a bug on you. It was bothering me. But it's at the end. Just wait. There's a trick at the end. See if you can figure it out.
And we always try to figure it out, and then I'm halfway through. I'm thinking, Disney Imagineers can't figure this out. Why am I even trying?
Every time. It's. I remember the last time we were here. Brian was with us, and me and him were like, I think there's a mirror. They do this. I think someone is behind, and you interrupted. You were like, hey guys, Imagineers can't figure it out. So stop. Just stop.
I'm not even gonna try.
You waste your time on anything else. It's true. And even today when you went in, you're like, I'm figuring this out this time. But it's not going to happen. If they can't, we can't. Yep. So,
but it's really, really cool.
It's cool. Yeah. I really do enjoy that show. Mm-hmm. I will say the show building for that attraction is really big.
It's big and unique. The shape of it, and which I think is part of what the effect is.
Yes.
I think it's a very strange building, and I think that's part of what it's built to do.
So I'm sure some people in the comments are going to be like, I figured it out.
Yeah.
So give me your thoughts. But anyway, but that's my favorite thing there. It's a lot of people don't know too. What I like about that attraction is when you come out of it, it actually has the credits on a wall. Mm-hmm. It's directed by Craig Bartlett.
Yep.
Who did
Arnold.
Created Hey Arnold.
Yep. So he's one of the people that knows how it works.
Yeah.
We gotta ask him.
We gotta interview Craig.
Yep.
Now the company that made that attraction, this I thought was interesting. Mm-hmm. It's made by, I believe the name of the company is BRC Imagination Arts. And they're a company that makes attractions for, whether it's a theme park or a museum or whatever. They are like a contract company that makes stuff with a lot of like illusionary stuff or effects or whatever.
They made something, wasn't it? What was it? What museum did they make something else for? The Coke Museum.
Yeah, we were in Atlanta a couple years ago, and we went to the Coca-Cola Museum, and they had a whole part where you were in a room and you watched a movie, and then the screen parted, and you walked through, and then there was a projection all around you that it was like they were filling you up. It was like you were inside a glass of Coke.
Yeah, and it was all filling up around you.
Yeah. And that was all them.
Yeah.
Like, they did that. They've done all kinds of stuff like that. What I didn't know is that company was founded in the 80s specifically to make the post shows in Epcot pavilions.
Oh, okay, cool.
So like the World of Motion pavilion at Epcot, at the end of it, when the ride was over, they would have like things using projection and make it look like you're building a car, and it uses a Pepper's Ghost effect to make a car.
Yeah.
And there's cartoons and all kinds of stuff. There was even, I think, a part with there was a show called Bird and Robot that was in this post show where it had an animatronic bird arguing with, it was like a robot from an assembly line.
Oh, so one of those ones that can build cars.
Yeah, and from what I understand, they did all that.
Really?
They were made, like, Disney had their hands full, and so they were like, they had a third party do it all, and I think the company was founded to do that.
Cool.
And so they're still around. Like they made Mystery Lodge in the 90s, but they're still making attractions now. Like even recently they did, I want to say they did something at some I want to say it's in Illinois, like something for Lincoln or something. I could be making that up. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that company is still around. And something that I thought was cool, this is just a personal little anecdote, but you never really hear about the Mystery Lodge. It's here. It's kind of in the corner. There's definitely no like merchandise for it.
Yeah.
But when you leave the ride, they have a theatrical poster for Mystery Lodge.
Like
it's the old Indian chief, going like that, and he's got the raven, like this spirit of a raven in his hand. It's glowing, and I love it. It looks like a movie poster for it, and I love that. There's no way to get that. I think back in the day, they gave some of those posters to like Disney Imagineers that came over to visit. Like I think Ward Kimball has one. That's it. Like you don't online. That's all you can find. And so I found the company. They're still around. I contacted them and I was like, hey, I don't know if you ever hear about this, but I just discovered Mystery Lodge. That is one of my favorite hidden gems. I love that attraction. It's still great. But by the way, like, did that poster exist anywhere? I would really love to frame that or something. But did you ever? Where did that exist? So I emailed them about that, and to my surprise, they actually did reach out to me. Yeah. And they just basically said, "What's your address?" I was like,
awesome.
Okay, here. And they sent me the full poster.
That's
it's
great.
That big. It's gigantic. So that is in my home now, framed. I mean, it's gigantic, and I mean, what a great company! Like that was so cool. They didn't have to do that at all. So anyway, and the box they sent me, you could tell they had that for a while. Yeah, that'd been sitting somewhere for 20 years, So anyway, that was pretty dope. Anyway, so great company, and I thought that attraction was really cool. Now, any other attraction stuff that you could think of that you go to there on a regular basis? I mean, really.
That's basically it. The rest is kind of roller coasters.
Yeah, and I just never go on
really, and they're not even like themed like Big Thunder or Space Mountain. Yeah. They're just big roller coasters.
Right, exactly.
And not really my thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else other than those attractions we go to. I've been to Knott's Scary Farm once. Those were kind of fun.
Yeah, so we should say.
Yeah.
So once a year, when it becomes Halloween time, they turn everything into Knott's Scary Farm.
Yeah.
I've never been to that. So what is that like?
It's cool. It's definitely scary. It's not meant for kids. Disney's one, it's meant for kids. And I think there's actually a story. I think Disney wasn't allowed to do one for a while with a deal with like there was something about doing a Halloween thing and Knott's like had rights to it. I cannot remember. But there was something about it that they couldn't do one, or I can't remember.
Really?
I
don't know anything about
Somebody had like a disagreement with like later on with
like a haunted house thing.
Like Halloween things, scary night events.
Interesting.
But I can't remember exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, Knott's does the like haunted, like not scary farm thing, and it's one of the scary ones where people chase you around with chainsaws and that kind of stuff. Yeah. And they have a ton of those walkthrough themed like mazes and things like that you walk.
That's cool.
It's all that. It's cool, but it's not. I don't find those scary.
Yeah.
And they're kind of fun.
That's never been my thing.
But I don't
fun,
really, they're fun. But yeah, it's never. And I've never been to the Disney one ever.
No, me neither.
Like, so.
Well, it used to be like you would just go,
Yeah.
and then it was like, oh, it's a separate ticket, and it was like $20 or $40 to do the Disneyland Halloween party. Now it's like $130.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell happened? That's a regular day ticket. Like that.
That's it. Yeah.
I cannot justify it.
No.
And I've heard it's like, you know, they do trick or treating. Yeah, it's just like, all right.
Yeah.
I'll go on a regular day.
Yeah.
But anyway, but I know people who swear by Knott's Scary Farm, like that's their tradition around Halloween. I think that's when this park is actually busiest.
Yeah, it's pretty busy. It's a separate ticket.
Yeah.
Like it's not. It's still a separate like event.
That's pretty crazy.
At night. Yeah.
But anyway, I'll have to check that out sometime.
Yeah. It's cool, but it's cool one time. Like,
I know Universal does that too. They have the Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I've been to that once. It's cool.
It's
they put a ton of money in it.
That's
like
cool.
they have like Halloween, like the actual movie Halloween, and everything, and it's all legit. Like they have a ton of stuff in there.
That's cool.
But it's fun to walk through once, and it's not really scary.
Yeah, I didn't know there was like a step through. Sorry, everybody. So we should rewind it a little bit.
Yeah.
So Knott's, as we said before, it was owned by Walt and Cordelia Knott. And it became more and more of a success. As they charged admission, they started to charge admission.
Yeah.
In the by the 60s, they had made a lot of money.
Yes.
They had made a lot of money. And actually, I just want to say real
quick.
I
love this story.
One story that I have heard about the park that I love is that they were making more cash than they were ready for.
Yeah.
They weren't anticipating that when they started charging for stuff. Who knew they made more money? But there was one day that they made so much cash they didn't know where to put it. Like the registers were bursting.
Yeah.
And Walter Knott was like, okay, well there was, I want to say he put like, God, how much was it?
I don't know, but it was a lot.
I want to say, maybe I'm wrong. I want to say it was like $20,000 or something. Maybe it was only $2,000. I don't know. But it was thousands of dollars, and he put it in a trash bag. And put it in a trash can, I think, or somewhere under a counter.
Yeah.
Where he's like, look, I don't have any safe place to put this. At least in a bag of trash, no one will go digging through it. So I'm going to put it down there for now.
Yeah.
And then he went and did some other stuff. And when he came back, they were like, oh, by the way, the trash people came. Don't worry. They cleaned everything up. They emptied the trash. And he was like, no! And had to like
run back.
He had to race to find that bag. And I think they got it.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
But one thing that I thought was cool is that Walter Knott, it was almost like, again, like they never wanted to charge admission. They never. Once they started raking in all this money, they were very generous. They weren't greedy people.
Yeah.
I heard until they later sold the park, because now it's owned by Cedar Point.
Yes.
Cedar Point is
Cedar something. Because I think they basically own Cedar Point.
Cedar Point is a theme park.
Yeah, and it's Cedar Parks, I think.
Yeah.
Own Cedar Point. It's all confusing, but they a big company bought Knott's that owned another park called Cedar Point.
It is Cedar Fair? Oh man.
I can't remember.
Cedar Fair Entertainment Company.
Okay.
I think that's what it is. I hope I'm not wrong. Yeah, I think it's Cedar Fair Entertainment Company. Anyway, yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So they bought the park from them in the
in the 90s.
But before we get to that, we should just say when Walter and Cordelia were making all this money, they would calculate their profit just on top of after everyone was paid.
Yeah.
They'd calculate their profit and they profit shared. They would actually, and Walter would like walk. He would actually walk to the employees. He would try to learn their names.
Yeah.
And he would walk up to them with a check. Like, hey, you know, the park did this and this and this good. Here's your cut. Like, he shared the profits with his workers.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
Didn't need to do that at all. But anyway, so eventually, so with all the money that they made, in the 60s, it was kind of like, hey, you know, Walter, you're making all this money. What's your next investment going to be?
Yeah.
And that dude, again, this is the guy who built the replica of the fireplace here. Patriotic dude. He goes, a lot of people never get to travel to the East Coast. They'll never get to see Independence Hall, where our country was founded. I want to build it brick for brick here.
Exact
replica. Exact replica to the brick.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. It was like, okay.
Yep.
And he said, we'll never charge admission. This is something for the people. And sure enough, they built it, and it's still here.
Still here. Doesn't cost a dime to go to it.
Yep, no. It is outside. A lot of people don't realize it. It's outside the park. It's just across, like there's a lane to drive down to go to parking. It's across that. You go under it. You go under the bridge, and it's on the other side next to Soak City, USA, the water park that didn't used to be there, but it is now. But anyway, it is still there, open to the public. Not very long. It's open till like 4 every day. But a lot of people don't know it's there. It's such a great off the beaten path thing because you go under that bridge and you come out the other side, and it's like, oh my God, this is huge.
Yeah.
It's Independence Hall. It's big as hell. And it's just sitting there. And most of the time I go there, there's nobody in it.
Yep.
There's one person watching it, and that's it. But they have all early America stuff, from the beginning. You know?
They have a cool show in there that just basically goes through the entire signing of the Declaration of Independence.
You go into the room where all the delegates sat, and there's an audio show where an employee will hit a button for you, and the lights dim, and the candles on each delegate's chair will light up, and there's little glowing lights for when everyone speaks.
Yep.
Like
it's in their inkwell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Franklin from Philadelphia. Sir, I believe we will hang separately if we, and it glows and you know who's talking. It's really cool. I thought that was awesome.
That was really well done.
You hadn't seen that before today, huh?
Never.
That's really, I'm glad you got to see it. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's an off the beaten path thing. You don't even have to pay money to go. You can just go. Now, I hear that place is usually, every time I'm there, it's like empty.
Yeah.
But I hear on 4th of July, it's bumping.
Oh, I'm sure.
America's birthday. They're celebrating. But anyway, but it's such a great off the beaten path thing. They have a replica of the Liberty Bell.
Yeah.
Inside it. What was the deal with that?
I read that that was a gift by Bud Hurlbut, who made like when that was made, he basically thanked Knott for all for everything basically by giving this replica Liberty Bell to him. Yeah,
it's kind of crazy, and I want to say, maybe I'm making this up, but I heard that when Bud tried to make that bell, they had to remake it like 5 times because getting that crack right kept breaking the whole thing. It was like, how do you crack it? Yeah, they were like, you can't fake this. Like we would try and the whole thing would shatter, or So I heard that was a difficulty.
Oh, I bet.
But it's so funny. You go over to that bell. There's like a button you can press, and I swear I went in there once by myself. The first time I'd seen it. I think. And when you press it, it was like a Bioshock level. You hit it, and it was like finding an audio log. It was like, this bell, there's the Liberty Bell from the. I mean, it was like being in an RPG. Or
old
something.
60s recordings and stuff.
There are no gods, only man. But anyway, so that's still there. You can go there. You can press it for yourself. Another thing that I think is funny that's in there for some reason, behind a glass case, there's this old piece of Italian furniture. Yeah. And I heard that is Walter and Cordelia went on a trip to Europe and just bought cool antiques to put throughout the park. Yeah. And that's something from their trip. Mm-hmm. It's like a really valuable Italian. Oh, what is it? So old. It's like a desk.
I want to say harpsichord.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's a musical instrument.
Is it a musical instrument? Okay. I wasn't sure if it was just a table.
It looks like it because it's closed, but I believe if you open the front, there are keys, like a little piano.
Yeah, so I think that's where they got it. I could be wrong, but anyway. But that Independence Hall. It's so cool how big it is. And what's a shame is they've built around it. So they have the water park over there. That's why you can't find it. It's like there's
it's surrounded by all this stuff.
There's a TGI Fridays in front of it.
Yeah.
It's all this stuff in front, and then you go through all that, and then it's there. But it's surrounded on either side by Soak City, USA, and like a water pump plant or a water
for the water park.
Yeah. And so the only way you could approach the building is from the back of it.
Yeah.
But you really got to go into the building and go out the other doors. Because
where the Liberty Bell is basically the original entrance.
That was the original front.
Where you come in and Liberty Bell and then this stuff.
Yeah.
Now you come in through the back.
But you got to go through that way because then you could see the building from the front. And it's
gigantic.
Awesome. It's
Clock
like
tower,
And no one gets to see that.
I know.
Like people have to, I put it on my like Instagram stories. No one gets to see it. Like you go through that way and it's like, oh yeah, this is the front of the damn building and no one gets to see it. It's crazy. So check that out if you get a chance. You don't even have to pay to get in. Just go.
Nope.
Anyway, but I always love checking that out.
That's awesome. And if it's ever open, I always try to make a trip there.
I don't know if it was over there, but I know at one point, I don't know if it was inside Knott's or outside like that. I know at one point there was a thing about Jesus.
Really?
Yeah, there was.
Huh.
And it was like you could go in here and experience and just feel Jesus's spirit. And what it was I don't know what year they put it in. It might have been, I think it was way before that.
Yeah.
But it was basically at a time where people didn't know about blacklight. And so there was a blacklight like painting of Jesus and in there it glowed. And that was it. You'd walk in and that was it.
Really?
Yeah. And I think that was like at a time where no one knew how that worked. It was like, whoa. I don't think that's still there.
No.
You know, you might have to go to church if you want to feel Jesus
Black
at this
light.
point. You used to be able to get it at the theme park, but no one. You think they'll do any Jesus-themed stuff at Disneyland after Star Wars? Like, will they move on?
Maybe.
Finally do something Christ-related.
Yeah.
I think it's about time. Star Wars, they earned it, but Jesus, that dude gave up a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's time. Get like a dark ride. I don't know what would it be. You wait in a cave for a few days and then you ride out. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, really, those things that we mentioned are kind of the things that I see the most.
Yeah. There is an attraction from Disneyland that is now moved to Knott's.
Really?
Yep.
I can't think of this.
In the Golden Horseshoe, there was a band.
Yeah.
That called how long did they play? 15 years? 20 years?
Oh,
it was a long time.
I want to say 25. Maybe, I don't know. At least 20 years.
But it was Billy Hill and the Hillbillies. It was a musical show.
You're saying they played in Frontierland
in the Golden Horseshoe.
In Disneyland. Golden Horseshoe for like 20 plus years, right?
Yeah, they played like 10, 20,000 shows or something like that.
Yeah.
And then worked forever after that. And I forgot what year it was, but Disney just went
a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was only a few years ago. Disney was like, "That's it, we're cutting it."
Well, what I heard was they went off the cuff a lot.
Oh, in terms of their acts and everything.
Yeah, and Disney is very like stick to the script.
Yep.
And they let that go for a long time, and then from what I hear, a couple years ago, Disney's current management stepped in and said, "Hey, if you're still going to work here, you're going on our script now. No more off the script."
Yeah.
And from what I understand, Billy Hill and the Hillbillies were like, "This sucks."
That's our show.
Yeah, our show is like riffing and having fun.
Yeah,
like,
it's a blast.
No, and so there was a riff, and they quit. So now,
well, now they were gone for a few months, and then all of a sudden, a band popped up at Knott's called Crazy Kirk and the Hillbillies.
yeah.
And
Crazy Kirk.
Same band, same dudes, and they're all way older now because I remember seeing it when I was a kid. And then not again until just recently. We were with Brian and everybody, and I was like, okay, cool. They come out, and they're all gray now and everything, and I was surprised.
Well, they probably aged a lot between Disneyland and the Knott's gig. Yeah, because they probably thought, where the hell else is a hillbilly band going to perform? Because even when they started the show here at Knott's, remember he started the show. He said, "Hey, there aren't a lot of jobs out there for people like us. So thank you for coming to see us." And I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I'll try to see them anytime I'm there.
I thought that was really cool because they are legitimately a great act.
Yes.
And you should, if you come to Knott's, try to find out if
Crazy Kirk and the Hillbillies.
See if they're playing. It's worth watching.
If they are, it's a great show. Check it out. It's awesome.
We caught their guitar pick last time.
Yeah.
That was
really cool.
Honor. Yeah. But anyway.
But like it's so funny because like some girls like falling asleep and they start like playing a
Fiddling
lullaby
over,
and stuff like that. And just they make fun of people in the audience. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they stuck to the script, it wouldn't be as good.
No.
You know, so they're a great show.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other connecting things with Disneyland. Now we talked about in the 90s, again, Walter and Cordelia Knott, they were ready to like, we're piecing out, we're selling.
Yeah.
And so they wanted to sell it. The Knott's family, I think maybe the kids were running it by that point.
I think, yeah.
But they wanted to sell it, and they wanted to sell it to someone who could run it properly, efficiently. And at one point, Disney was on the list, right?
Yeah, to buy it. Basically, they Disney wanted to make a park called Disney's America over in like Vermont, like over on
like
the
Virginia or something.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Over there, just because it's like, oh, okay, we need a park around there. That was great, but that area went no. We don't want.
It was a constant battle.
Yeah, constant battle with it. So like, okay, we're not gonna make it.
Yeah.
And Westcott and like the whole like Westcott failed and stuff.
Yeah, Westcott.
Yeah,
oh my
over
gosh.
here because of Paris and that's a long story on its own. Yeah. Paris failing and then messing up almost every park in terms
it really
of
did.
budgeting.
Disney, Euro Disney, when it was then, really screwed everything up.
It failed, and then they reined in budget on everything else, and so much stuff didn't get built because of it.
Yeah.
And so they're like, well, if we're not going to build a park, let's buy Knott. It's already got all this like
old
Independence
Americana.
Hall, old Americana and stuff like that. Why not do that and just kind of take over that and adjust it and make that Disney's America? And ultimately Disney didn't because of I think like transportation issues between the parks.
It was hard. Yeah,
it was hard, and the Knott family felt that Disney wasn't really going to handle it like they wanted.
I think it was more an issue of like they didn't, from what I understand, I think they didn't want everything to just be Disney.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we need some other flavors in this town. I think
they're so close that it's like we don't need another Disney park 7 miles away.
Yeah, I think they just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And then Cedar Park, Cedar Fair Entertainment, whatever, stepped in, and it was like, yeah, we'll do it.
And they
were the right bidder. Yeah. So they own it, and they continue to own it. That's why there's a lot of roller coaster stuff now.
Yeah, Cedar has a lot of roller coaster stuff, and they did that here too.
But again, they did preserve a lot of the history, which goes a long way.
One's whole side of the park is basically untouched.
Yeah.
And then the other one is kind of like they've kind of torn down some small rides. And it's just
but people, if you love roller coasters, I mean, there's stuff for you. It's good.
Yeah.
But, anyway, they've done a pretty good job. Now, let me ask you: did you go to Knott's as a kid? Was it a destination?
Seldomly.
Yeah.
I actually, when I didn't know I had ridden that dinosaur back in time ride.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Until years later.
Oh, really?
I just had this memory in my head of the ride.
Yeah.
Didn't know where it was, what it was, anything like that. And then I saw a video of it, and I went, "Oh, that's the ride."
Yeah.
I didn't realize I had gone to Knott's at that age.
Yeah.
And I remember it was like, okay, that's it. I went to Knott's and went on that ride, and that's where that was.
Yeah.
Because I remember the ride, I just didn't know where it was or anything like that. And it was gone by the time I went here again.
Yeah, how funny.
So I only went maybe once or twice as a kid.
I think I went once or twice too. Yeah. And I didn't have great memories of it because there wasn't much I wanted to go on.
Yeah.
I was just scared of everything. like it was mostly roller coasters.
Yeah.
And to this day I don't like roller coasters.
No.
They make me feel sick. But I went on they had a spinning sombrero ride or something.
Yeah.
I went on that, and that was really it. But I remember my dad got free tickets when I was in junior high. And he was like, I got free ticket for my dad worked in advertising, so he got something for Knott's. He was like, I don't know, maybe we'll go soon. And then I heard that week, at the time, one of my favorite shows was Big Bad Beetleborgs, which was yet another Power Rangers kind of spinoff. Yeah. And they announced, the day my dad said that, they announced, Beetleborgs meet and greet at Knott's Berry Farm this week. And it was like, what? So I told, it's like, we have to go. And he's like, yeah, perfect timing. I was going to see if you wanted to maybe call out of school on Monday or something. It was like, yes, let's go. And so we went. I was so excited. And I don't remember what theater. We went into some theater. I don't know if it was the Stage Door or the Birdcage.
Oh, that little tiny theater?
It might have been in there.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I can't think of any other theaters other than there.
There is a Charlie Brown theater.
That's huge.
But it's huge, yeah.
Gigantic.
Yeah, I don't think it was that.
Yeah.
So it was probably the birdcage one. But I remember being in there and the Beetleborgs music came in. And it was it wasn't, I didn't know, it wasn't the actors. They had like the stunt people wearing the suits.
Yeah.
Came in and it was still like, they gave you like free stuff.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I was just like,
yeah,
this is great. Anyway. So that I was really stoked on. And then there was nothing else I wanted to go on. Like it was like, oh, let's go on some stuff. You know, there was like a spinning sombrero ride, and that was all I did.
Yeah.
But I liked the food. I do remember liking the food, and I still like the food. So not
food's
much
good,
has changed.
and there's a few rides that are amazing here.
Yeah.
So.
But that was my only childhood experience. Otherwise, I wanted to go to. In terms of attractions, when I was a kid, Knott's was like way down here. Disneyland was up here. Las Vegas was up here.
Really?
When I was a kid, because I felt like Las Vegas was just full of weird stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember when we would go, they would always let us stay up late, and we would like eat a bunch of crazy shit and like go see shows or go, you know. And Disneyland was kind of intimidating. It was like as a little kid.
Yeah.
Disneyland was cool, like being there, but I was scared of like, ooh, Haunted Mansion. I don't want to go on that. Ooh, pirates! I was a scared little brat. You know, I did go on Star Tours. I liked that. You know, there were things I liked, but Las Vegas to me was more my speed because it was like, you know, this isn't rides; it's just cool stuff. But then when I got older, when I came back when I was like 18, was when it was like, oh, Disneyland is cool. Like, there's some history here.
Yeah.
Like, this is cool. And anyway.
Yeah. In terms of, I liked as a kid, Disneyland was like the ultimate.
Oh,
like going to Disneyland was crazy.
Yeah.
But I didn't go very often. I only went
really
once
didn't
every
either.
few years,
Yeah.
if that.
Yeah, same here.
But I went all the time, loved it, had a blast every time. Marshall Scotty's.
Really?
I went all the time.
I think I went once.
It was so close that it was just a quick, like, you want to go to the amusement park?
Yeah.
Okay, boom.
That was the theme park, if people don't know, that was the theme park that we had in our hometown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been gone since like 97.
And now they do a haunted, we did that on our podcast.
It's an abandoned place now, but they do a walkthrough of it, like a haunted trail through it, which is cool.
A great idea.
But that was like, I loved going because we could go to Disneyland all the time, but we could go to Marshall Scotty's all the time. Yeah. So I'd go there and get hot dogs and popcorn. And,
how funny.
Yeah.
I went there maybe one time.
Really?
And I think I liked it, but Disneyland was a special event though. Like and don't get me wrong, I really liked going. But again, a lot of it back then when I was a kid, it was intimidating. I have a really gullible brain. Even today, when I do like VR, I will still have moments where like if something flies at me, I'll be like, oh no, like it's real.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, Rocco, it's not real. Like,
but that's good VR. Like,
yeah, I guess so. But I just have a really gullible brain. So still, when I'll go on certain rides, you know, they did like the new Star Tours, I'll still have a moment that it's like, oh no, I'm falling. Rocco, you're not. Like, stop. I have a really gullible brain, and so it was especially bad when I was a kid. So I didn't want to go on a lot of stuff, but when I got older, I got wiser. Now I love it. But anyway, but that's kind of where it ranks. Is there anything else? I mean...
No, I didn't really go to any other theme parks when I was a kid, other than Knott's and...
Anything else from Knott's, though, that you're trying to think of? The Boysenberry soft serve is very good here.
Oh, the best thing... probably my favorite drink of all time is made here.
Yeah! We should say...
During the Boysenberry Festival, they
do that every spring. We should preface that.
Yeah, they do it every spring, Boysenberry Festival, and they have this... What do they call it? It's not even a soda. It's Calico soda.
Calico soda.
Or something like that.
Yeah, something like
and it's a mixed soda. Basically, they make it in front of you, and they like pour a little ton, and it's all secret.
Yeah. Like, it's all proprietary stuff.
Two of these,
all little shots.
Yeah. And then they pour it and stir it up, and they hand it to you.
Yep. In a jar.
It's like boysenberry, vanilla, cream, something. I don't know.
I don't know, but that is my favorite drink, period.
Good. It is so good. And it's mixed right in front of you, so it's super fresh.
Yep.
And it's great. That's like, I look forward to that. And we almost didn't get it last year because we didn't know where it was.
Yeah.
And they moved it because the year before they have this little old shack that's never open.
Yeah.
And they were making it in there.
Yeah.
And then the next year that shack was closed up. We're like, oh, well, I guess it's gone. And then it was in the saloon, so.
But then it wasn't just that we couldn't find it.
Yeah.
It's that we were so full.
Oh yeah.
From the chicken dinner.
Brian didn't even get one. He was like,
all the courses throughout the day of Boysenberry stuff.
Yeah.
That it was like Brian was like, I can't hold more stuff in my body, and I was like, I can
do that.
And I drank.
That's good.
Man,
I can use one right now.
It was amazing. I know that does sound good. It's hot as hell in here.
It is.
I've been sweating so
Me
bad.
too. I'm so
in
thirsty.
this little atrium area, it's sealed up. It's like a greenhouse.
Yeah,
over
there's
here.
no ventilation.
I'll show it maybe.
There
at the
was
end.
at one point. You know,
Yeah.
like you can tell.
There's an old photo of this
that-
area, and it's open on the sides.
It's open, so
Yeah.
it should be ventilated, but it's not. But yeah, there's this water fountain right here at that, and then on the other side is another water fountain between the bathrooms. Waterfall between the bathrooms.
Yeah.
Basically, it comes down the middle, and
This is the most weird off the beaten path thing.
It is. It's really cool, and nobody's come in here. Like,
yeah, almost this whole time. In the
haven't
beginning, there were a couple.
Yeah, that's it, and it closes like in half an hour.
Yeah.
Like nobody comes back here.
Yeah, it just goes to show you how off the beaten path it is. But that's the kind of stuff. Knott's was whatever when I was a kid. But once I got older and I came here in the last few years is when I appreciated just like Disneyland, this place has some textured history.
Yeah.
And it's fun, like, seeing that, So, anyway, I dug it. And I don't come here as much as Disneyland.
No.
I don't feel the need to. And you can see, you can do mostly what you want to do in the afternoon.
And the tickets price reflect that because they're so much cheaper than Disneyland.
Yeah, significantly. Like, almost a third.
Yep.
But, you really should, if you're in the area, or can be, it's worth checking out.
If you're coming all the way, like, if you're flying here from somewhere far away to go to Disneyland, spend a day here. Like, just get they even have, like, after 4 tickets that are even cheaper. Just check it out. It's really cool. It has some stuff, not a ton, unless it's like roller coasters, then it has tons of stuff.
Yeah, then
here.
you're set.
Yeah.
But if you're just into the history stuff, you can go here for a few hours. You'll like it. Anyway, so is that pretty much it?
I think that is. I can't think of anything else.
We'll go back to our Disney.
Yeah.
We
just felt there was a lot of Disney history even here.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was a good place to do it.
Exactly. There's a guy, Eddie Soto, and he was a big player in Euro Disney, Disneyland Paris, designing that, and he started here.
Oh, really?
He was like a young kid here, trying to design like, okay, here's an attraction that the train goes through. That's the one thing I'll say I'm disappointed here at Knott's. They have a train that goes around the park, and you don't see anything.
There's nothing.
You go like behind. You go like behind stuff.
Yeah,
and that's
it's
it.
ugly back there.
And he mapped out like a whole ride that you go through, and they were like, cool. I never built it.
Yeah.
But then he moved on to Disney and designed a lot of good stuff. But anyway, just another connecting thing that I thought of. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it.
That's all I can think of.
So we'll go back to Disney next month.
Yeah.
Hey, next month, should we do? Let's ask the audience.
Yeah.
We could do something on a specific ride at Disney, or we could do one about. We'll just say what we talked about.
Yeah.
Should we do an episode on Disney deaths?
I don't know, or is that too dark?
Or is it too dark? If you're like, hey, I don't want to hear about that, talk about one of your favorite rides, we'll do it. And if you're like, no, let's get nasty, we'll do that. You tell us. But in the meantime, I'm going to show everybody this weird area, and we'll end on this.
Go for it.
Someone, by the way, when we were standing here, when we first started, someone came in and was like, he pointed to this. We have a little Bluetooth microphone here, and he pointed to it and he said, "Is that part of your setup, or has that always been here?" And I said, "That's George Washington's first Bluetooth headset," and he laughed. And said, "Y'all have a good day."
Yep.
So, y'all have a good day too, sir. Anyway.
I'm gonna go piss.